Welcome to the Progress on Purpose podcast. We are a community of people who seek to be intentional about how we think and behave towards an intended goal. We believe that what we say, think, and do governs our ability to make progress towards our goal and ultimately lead to success. In simple terms, it's the action of being intentional and making progress on purpose. During the months of October through December 2021, we are on a 90-day pep talk series entitled Push Through. This daily conversation is designed to encourage, inspire, and motivate you to show up for yourself, make no excuses, and push past the areas in your life where you are stuck so that you can bring that idea that God has given you to pass. We don't have time to waste, and some of us have been sitting on ideas too long. If this is you, join the series and commit to bringing out the best version of yourself in this season. The series is a daily pep talk live on Instagram at 6 p.m., 8 p.m. on Sundays, with replays here on the podcast and on our YouTube channel. I invite you to join the live, but if you can't, catch the replays, okay? Click the link tagged in this episode to officially sign up and be a part of this great community. I am committed to showing up for us. Will you meet me there? I hope so. Without further delay, let's jump into this episode of the Push Through Pep Talk series. If you love what you're hearing, leave a comment on your listening platform and share the episode with a few friends. Okay, let's do this. I don't know about anybody else, but I need a pep talk every day. Let me tell you, I have daily staff meetings with myself. And the reason why I have these staff meetings is because I have to stay encouraged, stay committed even to the things that I say that I'm going to do. And it's no different, I'm sure, for any and everybody else who is jumping on. Hey, Mom, get dressed. How are you? So yeah, we definitely want to, honor ourselves by showing up for ourselves. And for me, I made this commitment for this 90 days from October to December to show up every single day, not just for myself, but also for you. I believe that on a daily basis, there is something that we can chat about that will help us to be encouraged to push through and then ultimately be able to birth the um, very vision, bring that vision to pass, that very thing that God has placed inside of us that we need to birth, okay? If this is your first time joining the live, please make sure that at some point you click the link in my bio. Actually, the first link is going to take you to the sign up so that you can be added to the email list. The email list will allow you to get updates on not only the series, but also help you to stay connected. And then there is the Daily Intentions Planner that I reference a lot in our conversations. You'll be able to download that for free. Okay, so even if you are already subscribed to, the Progress on Purpose community, I still want you to sign up for the series because that I'm going to communicate directly with that group of people or us differently. Okay, y'all excuse me because I was craving some Thai tea. I think I told Manga Dress and Ashley, I think I told you that earlier. I was craving some Thai tea. And guess what? My husband brought me some Thai tea. And so I'm going to enjoy it while we have this little pep talk. And y'all excuse me because my tongue is getting orange. But we here. Okay, we pushing through. So let's jump into today's topic. Okay, I don't want to be here all night. Right, Ashley? Tommy did a good job. He did a good job. Okay, he understood the assignment, and you know what? I think I may have just like mentioned it to him, and he came and he just handed it to me, and I was like, "What is that? Carrot juice?" Because that's what it kind of looks like. He didn't go to the place that I normally go to, so I didn't recognize it. and he said, he's like, it's the Thai tea. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Gave him a lot of love. And then he was like, I listened. And I was like, I so appreciate that. And you know what? That I can kind of drive right there, but it leads into what we're talking about today, like what's working. So many times, and if you are married, you already know, or if you're in a relationship, you may have found yourself here before where you are so busy sometimes over analyzing and not necessarily paying attention to the things that are working, but we find ourselves, because we're naturally critical, because we may be like, very specific as people, we find ourselves looking for what's wrong, right? In a relationship, especially, we can find ourselves in a place where we're always assessing what's wrong. But I want to talk tonight about what's working, and it ultimately lead us to a place where we can begin to enjoy and celebrate the things that are working, right? So in this case, with my husband bringing me this drink, I instead of saying, oh babe, you didn't go to the place that I said, or oh babe, I never had this kind before, I don't want it. I'm like, you know what? He took the effort to get it for me. I'm appreciative of it, and mama ain't raised no rude person. So I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it down. I'm not going to play it out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to celebrate that. And y'all know how men are, right? Once you kind of like celebrate them a little bit, then they'll do it again. So that's what we kind of want, right? So I'll be crazy and borderline a fool to not celebrate it. But sometimes we don't give our own selves that courtesy. Yes, I just threw that curveball. We don't give our own selves that courtesy to assess what's actually working and celebrate the things that are actually working. We find ourselves constantly beating ourselves up, and that's number one. Don't beat yourself up. In this season, listen, we're towards the end now. We're in October, and you may have looked over the course of this year and decided one way or another, I don't like what this year brought me. I didn't achieve all of the goals that I wanted to achieve. I didn't put myself in position to win like I wanted to. And all these goals and ideas and things that I had set up for the beginning of the year, now that we're in October, I ain't get to half of them. Listen, don't beat yourself up. Number one, it's wasted energy to beat yourself up. You don't even have, like, why do you even have time for that? Like, if you find yourself beating yourself up, ask yourself the second in that same second. In that same second, ask yourself, why do I even have or think that I can spend this kind of energy? Like, we cannot beat ourselves up. And if you find yourself in that space when you are beating yourself up, question what you're doing. Realize that you're spending energy in a space where you really should not be. And also understand that you're putting yourself in a situation to harm yourself, harm yourself emotionally, harm yourself psychologically, instead of doing number two, which is check the data. What does the data suggest? So before you really start to beat yourself up, like, oh, I didn't do this, and oh, I didn't do that, I didn't reach this goal, look at the data. What did you actually accomplish? And that's kind of where this theme came from for today. Like, what is actually working? Because you may find that something that is actually working, you can apply that same mindset, that same skill into attacking these areas that you want to grow in. So as a part of this pushing through in this season, we're really trying to get ourselves to a place mentally and even in reality where we can birth the very vision that God placed inside of us, and not just birth it, but allow it to allow it to take root, allow it to, be something that we can be proud of, right? And God can be proud of. And so we have to sometimes use transferable skills even in this area too. If something is working in your life, apply that same skill so that you can use it to be able to birth that thing that you are working on. It's not too late, even though it's October. That does not matter. You can still win in this season. You can set yourself up for 2022, right? Because God willing, you will see it. And so the things that you do in this 90-day period can be a setup for the next 90-day period, quarter one, right? It can be a setup for whatever it is that you're going to be doing in the next season, okay? So you definitely want to not overlook this time. You don't want to say to yourself, I didn't do everything that I set out to do. I never pressed go on the idea that God gave me. You don't want to do that. Don't even let those words come out your mouth. Instead, what I suggest that you do is take this time to self-assess what is working, what did work in this over these last 10 months or 9 months, and now put some energy even into one thing. Put some energy even into one area that you want to pursue, and give yourself some credit. Number 3, after you have assessed what's working, find something to celebrate, and celebrate in a big way. I know for me, I make sure my moment of celebration is self-care, right? So it could be taking a trip, that could be even just going to the nail salon. If I find myself in a space where I want to celebrate something, some accomplishments, or even if I just want to put myself in a mood where I'm celebrating, I will go to the nail salon. How do you guys celebrate some things that you've accomplished, or do you find it hard to celebrate yourself? Hey, intentional people, I had to interrupt the show to tell you about a resource that I know we can all benefit from. As go getters and goal getters, sometimes we get stuck, we get hindered, and we find ourselves needing help in one area or another. I know personally, I lived for many years hindered by the opinions of others, which led to many insecurities and setbacks. It took more than prayer to get me out of the funk that I was in. What helped so much was talking to a licensed therapist who helped me get to the root of my issues so that I could build myself back up to see myself as God sees me. I began seeing a therapist on a consistent basis, and it changed my life. This is why I'm so excited to tell you about BetterHelp.com. It is a secure online professional counseling service that is available for clients worldwide. Let me tell you about 4 things I absolutely love about this service. First, there is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's counselor network that may not be locally available in many areas. You can log on to your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You get timely and thoughtful responses, plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so that you never have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room like with traditional therapy. BetterHelp.com is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. Progress on Purpose podcast listeners get a special discount of 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/POP, which helps save more money off of this amazing service. Visit betterhelp.com/POP to start a conversation today. You never know. It may be the most important conversation of your life. That's betterhelp.com/POP. So talk back to me. Do you find yourself beating yourself up more than you actually celebrate yourself? And if you ever stop to think or listen for what you are telling yourself, you might find that you may be harder on yourself than other people are on you. And you don't want to be there, right? You don't want to find yourself in a place where you are the one talking down to yourself. Oh, I know I need to get it together. I know I need to do better. Yes, now all of that is cool, but don't end your staff meeting with just that statement, okay? Don't end your staff meeting there. Find something worth celebrating, something that you can um call an accomplishment, right? Keita said, "This is me." Yeah, it's me too sometimes. I find myself, and here's what I do. I'll celebrate, for example, like, I'll celebrate something, a win in my business, but then I'll beat myself up for what I consider a loss in my household, or something that I didn't, a ball that I dropped, in my marriage. Because come on, we mess up too, okay? I'll talk about me all day long, so y'all don't have to. Okay, sometimes we drop the ball, and I'll beat myself up in that area and only celebrate the things that I think are worth celebrating, instead of finding something to celebrate that I'm doing well in the marriage. And actually, not to tell y'all all my business, but my husband and I, it's okay. My husband and I are we're in year 4 of our marriage now. And year 3, we really focused on celebrating each other's contributions. And what do I mean by that? We found ourselves in the year 2 kind of put in a space where we were like, well, you don't do this and you don't do that. And I started saying, well, that's not my contribution. And when he would say something like, oh, I'm the only person, like he would say, I'm the only person planning dates. I want you to plan dates too. And my answer was, that's your contribution to our relationship in this season. I literally could not find it to, and I know it sounds crazy, but I couldn't find it at that time to plan dates. It was a little challenging for me, and I had my reasons why it was challenging. Had nothing to do with my husband, but prior trauma, prior hurt sometimes can influence how we handle certain things. But it caused me to totally neglect little things that he expected me to jump in and do. Now, he does plan most of our dates, but he was like, okay, girl, every once in a while you could do it. And I literally had to tell him, like, this is your contribution in this season, but here's all the stuff that I am doing. Right? So I even had to find it for myself. And so now we're in a space where we both look for, okay, well, what is the contribution? I told y'all earlier this tonight. This Thai tea. Some of y'all missed this little Thai tea testimony. But basically, I mentioned it earlier. I think maybe, was it today? Was it today that I mentioned it, Ashley? If you're still on? I think so. I just mentioned it. Like, I want some Thai tea. I don't know. I'm expecting. Some days I just wake up wanting Thai tea at 8:30 in the morning. And my husband, heard it. It's 8 o'clock at night. I done forgot about the Thai tea, but he didn't. And I appreciate that, because that is his and it has been his contribution, that he listens. And so for us who are pushing through, find what you can celebrate about yourself in this season. You may not have hit every goal that you wanted to hit. I'll be the first person to tell you, I didn't hit every goal that I wanted to hit. I done made investments in some things that I just did not pursue with the same passion that I should have pursued it with. So it looks like my investment is dwindling. But am I going to sit and let it and cry and let it die? Or am I going to say, no, okay, I didn't got this I and cross this T, but I could start here. And I did contemplate XYZ. I did, you know, child, listen, I already told y'all, this push through series, it's a push through for me too. But I'm showing up daily. And so while I am having setbacks, while I am experiencing a lot of, technical difficulties and all that stuff, it's sloppy, but I'm here. And I'm happy you guys are here too. Yeah, so don't beat yourself up. That's number one. Number two, what does the data suggest? What does the data say about the things that you are doing right? And then find a way to celebrate those things. And the reason why we celebrate what's working is because it's those small wins that lead to big wins. And if we don't take the time to celebrate the small wins, we may overlook them. We may not even find them as valuable, and it won't give us momentum to continue on. It won't give us that push that we need to continue on. We won't be able to find it in those times when we actually do need it. Okay. And then for those very things, so let me just back up, because I do want us to do, our daily reflections. And I really want you to sit down for 5 minutes and just assess what's working. Whatever comes to mind. It don't have to be about the goal. It could be about anything. Because celebration is a celebration. It could be about something in your household. It could be about a goal that or something that you did even today. Honey, did you make it on time today to wherever you had to go? If that's not it, find something else. Did you get gas today? Did you eat a sensible meal today? Like, find something to celebrate. Find something to celebrate, right? And then even in that reflection, this is 4. Choose one thing to improve upon. One, okay? One thing that you want to improve this week. Okay? One thing that you want to improve this week. Just one. It don't have to be a whole lot of things, but just find one thing that you want to work on. And what you're going to find is that in finding that one, in focusing on that one thing that you want to improve upon, you're now going to zero in on it, so you're able to see, okay, I can fix this. I guarantee you, it's probably something that you could just like easily fix if you just took the time to address it. If you just take the time to address it, and what's going to happen is it's going to lead you to a place where you are no longer afraid, and that's not the right word that I want to use, but for lack of a better word, afraid to fix that space, fix that spot that's broken, fix that little nick. Yesterday, if you caught the live yesterday, or go back and watch the replay, I wore this dress that I really loved. And I wanted to wear it on our date night, and I did end up wearing it on our date night. But when I pulled it out the closet, it had 2 little nicks. I guess a moth got to it before I did and put 2 holes in my dress. Brand new dress too. Honey, I put these little Bossy Boutique pins right in them holes, and I kept it moving. But I did that as a temporary fix. What do you think I'm gonna do this week? I'm gonna take my dress and I'm gonna sew them little holes closed. Or I'm gonna put a patch on top of it or something. But I'm gonna fix it. Now, had I never identified that there was a problem, I wouldn't be able to fix it. And every situation is not that easy, right? Every situation is not a tear. Some tears or some situations are much deeper. Can we talk about it for a second? Some tears, some situations, we need to talk to somebody about. That's okay. If in your reflection today you identify that you need help, honey, get the help you need. Start the conversation. Go on betterhelp.com. I have a code for you. If you go to betterhelp.com/POP, you can actually be matched with a licensed therapist. And with my code, you'll save 10% off. But you can be matched with a licensed therapist, and they will reach out to you within 24 hours. So talk about fixing the situation. You got to get the conversation started. And that's okay. I've been to therapy many times over, because there's some stuff that are big tears. in my life. And if we're pushing through in this season, we don't want to push through with tears. We don't want to push through with tears, right? Or, well, we can, but we don't want to at the end of, on the other side, leave the tear undone. That's really what I would say. We don't want to leave the tear open. We want to fix it. So if it's something that we can fix on our own and we find in our reflection today, again, 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking you to do. Just jot 5 minutes. Use the brain dump tool that I have when you join the series, okay? But if you, and you can click the link in the bio, I said that already. But if you find in your 5-minute reflection that you have some, character issues, or because everything is not logistical. I guarantee you that a lot of stuff that we're trying to push through in this season to be able to get through and into our next season, I guarantee you the issue is not logistical. It's not that you can't find the time. There is something that you are consistently doing that is replacing the time. There's a decision that you are making to not make the time. But those are not logistical issues. Those are decisions. Those are decisions. And if we can find that the decision that we are making can be fixed, let's work on fixing it this week. But if it's something greater than that, or if it's beyond ourselves and we need to talk to someone so that in the next season of our life, right, come 2022 or even before 2022 comes in, we can fix it. I do want to say this, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I have had great experiences with therapy for some very hard things, okay? And the one thing that I can say is I used to be a little afraid to face myself in the mirror and to face those issues because I thought in my head, this about to be this long road ahead and, whatever. What I found, though, was that some things did take time, but then there were certain things that didn't take as long as I thought that they would because I was willing to do the work. And in this time, in this season, I'm coming to a close for tonight, we got to be willing to do the work. We said that we were going to push through, and we got to be committed to it. Okay? So, again, don't beat yourself up. Assess what is working. Celebrate that thing. And then choose one thing that you want to improve upon. When you do your reflection this week, what's that one thing that I want to improve upon? And that's it, okay? I do want to remind you guys to join the series. So you want to click the link in the bio, first link in the bio. If you're running into any issues, just let me know. But I do appreciate you guys so much for coming on tonight. Let me know in the comments, did this help? Are you motivated to push through? Like, talk back to me. I need to know. Thank you for the hearts. I see the hearts coming in. Appreciate it. Let me know that it was valuable, or it is valuable to you, and I hope that you will continue to come. I'm showing up I'm showing up till December 31st. Every day. Even if I have to do it from the car. If I have to, I don't know. Listen, we gonna get it done. I see who you are. Hey, Keita. Hey, Marquita. What's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate you all just as equally. I really do. Okay. We will see each other tomorrow, 6 o'clock, if nothing else changes. But I will post the time either way. Okay. God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Thank you for the hearts.